Welcome back, everybody. Halloween season is upon us, and this year I'm gonna be watching 31 horror movies in 31 days.
Okay.
That's right, it's that time again. Leaves are falling, pumpkin spice lattes are everywhere, Halloween candy in every store, nights are getting chilly with the scent of fall drifting through the air, and since our current world is already a terrifying horror movie, there truly is no better time to escape reality and get lost in the beautiful world of horror movies. So I thought I could share my list with you all. We got a bunch of movies here. Older ones, newer ones, good ones, bad ones, some you've heard of, some maybe not so much. I'll make sure, of course, to let me know which movies I should have put in the list and how much of a big fucking idiot I am. And without further ado, let's get started with the first movie I'm gonna be watching on the first day of October. It's one of my favorites, the one and only Re-Animator. Re-Animator is about this crazy scientist, Herbert West, who invents a serum that brings dead people back to life, except they come back as crazy, violent zombies. We got a perfect mix of horror and dark comedy here, a fantastic main character who's both a hero and a villain. Oh, I love this little asshole so much.
Perhaps it takes...
We got blood and guts everywhere. There's a zombie cat. I mean, for the love of God, there's a decapitated head giving head. How many times have you seen that in a movie? Re-Animator is very campy. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very funny. An overall very well-made, well-written film. It's just endlessly rewatchable. And here's my favorite scene. On October 2nd, we have The Blair Witch Project. I put this one early because it's the perfect movie for early fall. You got the woods, the dead leaves, the gray skies. It's a very atmospheric film and a great early example of analog horror before that was even a thing. And in this one, we follow 3 student filmmakers investigating the legend of the Blair Witch, and then they get lost in the woods for 90 minutes. That's it. That's literally it.
Near the car. Maybe we're near the car.
Give me the fucking map. Give me the map.
Now, Blair Witch Project is not for everyone. I get that. It's a slow burn if I've ever seen one. Some could even argue that nothing happens, aside from a couple kids arguing with each other in the woods. Don't expect a Conjuring ending with this one.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Sure, not much happens in the movie, but there's something about the atmosphere, the psychological horror, the paranoia, the ambiguity of what could be happening that always gets under my skin, and I still believe that it's a deeply disturbing and genuinely scary movie. Starring Anna Faris. Blair Witch Project is like the Skinamarink of the 90s. I guess you either love it or hate it, and I love it. Here's my favorite scene.
I'm very tired, and I'm very scared, and I just want to go home, okay?
Okay.
But I'm fine, and we're both okay.
Hey, would you like to be sad? Would you like to be depressed? Well, boy, do I have the movie for you. On October 3rd, I'm gonna be watching Possession. This movie is wild, it's very intense. It starts with a couple breaking up, and then it spirals into complete, utter chaos. Odds are you've probably heard of the legendary subway scene with one of the most disturbing bit of acting I've ever seen, and this perfectly captures the tone and feel of the movie. Possession is not about ghouls and demons, it's about human misery. It's a very rich, layered, deeply psychological film, not an easy watch by any means. It's weird and loud and uncomfortable, but man, it's so incredibly well made. The acting is on point, it's a fascinating watch, and for a 44-year-old movie, it sure aged like fine wine. And speaking of that subway scene, here's my favorite scene. On day 4, we're going back to the early 2000s with James Gunn's Slither. Oh boy, this is one disgusting, slimy movie about little alien worms infecting people and turning them into disgusting monsters. Oh my lord! Slither is a wild ride. It's fucking gross. The practical effects are just absolutely beautiful. We have a great cast, plenty of memorable scenes. It's just an overall absurd, campy, gory horror flick that is not afraid to gross you out. Watch it with a group of friends, grab a couple drinks, and you'll have a great time. Here's my favorite scene. We're not done with slimy worm horror quite yet, because on day 5 we're watching Night of the Creeps, one of my favorite B movies of all time. Now, somehow, I've never heard James Gunn mention this movie as an inspiration for Slither, which is very surprising because they pretty much have the same synopsis. Alien worms infect people who turn into zombies. It's the same. I love this movie so much, it holds a very special place in my heart. It's nasty and gross, the zombies look great. I mean, look at this guy, and look at this guy. I love it! It's also a very funny movie, cracked me up so many times, it was a blast.
We don't have to have sex with a farm animal, do we?
Interesting suggestion.
The school and frat house setting is really fun. Perfect setting for zombies to roam around. But what truly steals the show here is, of course, Tom Atkins as Detective Ray Cameron.
Thrill me, thrill me, thrill me, thrill me.
What a phenomenal character.
Exploding heads, creepy crawlies, and a date for the formal.
He's this depressed cop who's seen so much shit that he just doesn't care anymore. He's a genuinely well-written character who's gonna make you laugh and make you cry, just like this movie. Here's my favorite scene.
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Well, the next full moon will be on October 6th, so it would only make sense to watch a good old werewolf movie for the occasion. And the one I'll be watching is none other than An American Werewolf in London.
Hello, Governor.
You're not gonna believe this. It's about this American guy who turns into a werewolf in London. This movie's so much fun. We're on a roll here with another silly horror comedy. It has everything you could possibly want. It's got gore, it's got jokes, it's sexy, it's got atmosphere, it's got Nazi werewolves, what the fuck? It's got amazing creature effects, so good it won them an Oscar. It's my personal favorite werewolf movie. I just think it's amazing. This is horror comedy done right, and I can't recommend it enough. Here's my favorite scene. October 7th is for my folk horror gang.
Gang stuff, listen up.
I've talked about this movie a couple times on this channel already. It's The Ritual. I won't give too much away in case you haven't seen it, but it's about this group of friends who get lost in the woods, and yeah, things get spooky. You're gonna hear me say that a lot throughout this video, but I love the atmosphere of this film. I'm a big atmosphere guy. If the movie is spooky, if it looks good, then I'm probably gonna have a great time. Now, a movie that entirely takes place in the woods could sound boring, but no, they found a way to keep things visually interesting the whole way through. There's some really effective scares, great tension building, a fantastic creature design. I just think it's a great watch for early October, so give it a shot. It's on Netflix, and here's my favorite scene.
Phil. Phil, what are you doing?
We're kicking off the second week of October with another recommendation. It's Rec, the 2007 Spanish film. This is a zombie found footage flick, and it's one of the most intense horror movies I've ever seen. Probably one of the scariest too. Rec does a great job at making you want to be literally anywhere else on Earth than this goddamn building full of crazy demonic zombies running around. It uses the found footage style to its advantage. It's not just a gimmick, it adds tension and really puts you in the shoes of these characters. As soon as the first infected shows up, you never, not even for a second, feel safe. White knuckling is an understatement. This is another very intense, very scary movie, and here's my favorite scene.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasa?
Hay algo, vamos hacia atrás. Vamos hacia atrás.
Oh boy, we're getting weird with this one. On October 9th, get ready for the single craziest movie experience of your life, because we're watching Hausu. The 1977 Japanese movie that I honestly don't even know how to describe. Just have to experience it for yourself. Here's the basic premise, I guess. Hausu is about a schoolgirl who travels to her aunt's country home along with 6 of her classmates, but the house turns out to be haunted. Sounds simple enough, right? Pretty basic, huh? And then you watch the movie and this happens. And this happens. And then this happens. The fuck? What is going on? I'm not gonna say anything else other than this truly is a bizarre experience and I loved every second of it. Here's my favorite scene. Next up, day number 10. I'm watching John Carpenter's The Fog. You know me, love a good atmosphere, love a good smoke machine. So obviously, a town covered in fog with zombie pirates roaming around with their red glowing eyes. Say no more, I'm in. I wouldn't say The Fog has great writing or an amazing plot or anything. It really is just a very simple, spooky movie with cool looking monsters, a good old campfire tale executed very well. We have a great cast, some great set pieces, it's very immersive, and just overall a good time. Bonus points for Carpenter's soundtrack, which goes insanely hard. Here's my favorite scene.
Okay, I'm going.
We're not done with fog machines, folks, because sticking with the fog-themed horror movies, on October 11th, we got The Mist, based on Stephen King's short story. I feel like people don't talk enough about The Mist. I'd even go as far as to say it's little underrated. Just a little. The premise is simple enough. A giant cloud of mist rolls into a small town. We follow this group of people who take shelter in a grocery store, and they quickly realize that the mist hides these creepy-ass Lovecraftian bugs. Ugh, yuck! I'm a sucker for monsters and creatures. Show me a weird tentacle and yeah, I'm hooked. But The Mist isn't just a monster flick. That's just on the surface. It's also an incredibly well-written film about how quickly society... yes, society...
We live in a society
can descend into complete chaos and violence. It's about human conflict, how fear can drive people to blindly follow a cult in a moment of desperation. The tension keeps building, the paranoia keeps building. In the end, humans can be just as scary and dangerous as these horrifying alien monsters, and The Mist captures that very well. The ending is horrifying to say the least. If you know, you know. God, Jesus Christ. And aside from some iffy CGI here and there, the creature effects are really good. Creature designs especially are fantastic.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
Very Lovecraftian. You could put these things in Bloodborne and it would fit right in, and that shit is right up my alley. And speaking of cool fucking monsters, here's my favorite scene. Well, that was a heavy, dark, and depressing movie. So for day 12, we're gonna lighten up the mood, go with a safe choice that everyone can love, a classic, if you will, good old Beetlejuice. I don't think this movie needs any introduction, especially after the Jenna Ortega sequel. Yeah, Beetlejuice is now more mainstream than it's ever been, but what can I say? It's a good time. This is possibly the most Tim Burton movie that Tim Burton has ever made. You can tell he just had a bunch of wacky ideas and he shoved them all into a sort of family-friendly movie. Kind of, sort of. Haunted house, ghosts, weird ghost dimension world with silly little monsters, dune sandworms, sleazy eccentric asshole ghost who's really into young girls. Oh wait, wrong footage. There it is. Ew, Beetlejuice oozes with creativity. It's entertaining from beginning to end, and of course, it's a perfect movie to watch around Halloween. Here's my favorite scene.
You want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you.
I'm trying to cut down myself.
Well, while we're at it, how about another Tim Burton movie? Why not? On October 13th, I'll be watching Sleepy Hollow. Now look, this is mostly an okay film. It's okay, it's fine. I can't say I was particularly interested in the plot and the murder mystery. Didn't care much about 36-year-old Johnny Depp dating 18-year-old Christina Ricci. The writing is fine, it's serviceable, but god damn, does this movie look good. The gothic aesthetic, dead trees, fog, little pumpkin scarecrows. I watch Sleepy Hollow every year because it's such a fun, immersive movie that brings me to my happy place. It's the most Halloween-y movie that has nothing to do with Halloween. And that's the thing with Tim Burton. I wouldn't say he's particularly great at writing characters and compelling stories, aside from a couple exceptions, of course, but his visual style and his world building is just incredible, and Sleepy Hollow is no exception. That is one spooky ass fucking movie right there, and I really enjoyed it. Here's my favorite scene. On day 14, we shall live deliciously as we're watching Robert Eggers' The Witch. I know not everyone likes this film. For some, it's a masterpiece, and for others, it's a boring waste of time. But I love it. This is a visually stunning, deeply immersive film that follows this family living in a little cabin near the forest in the 1600s, and soon enough, strange supernatural events begin to unfold. Baby's there, and baby's gone. Ah, what the hell? Not only is The Witch absolutely gorgeous to look at, but it's also layered with themes and subtext. The characters are all very interesting, very flawed. It's a film that has a lot to say about many things. I think it truly benefits from multiple viewings. The soundtrack, oh god, the soundtrack. Listen to the whole thing alone at night with headphones and enjoy the nightmares. The atmosphere is unsettling. Some of the film's imagery has stuck with me ever since I first watched it. The ending is both beautiful and horrifying. Again, it's more of an interesting art house film than a plain spooky horror flick. Maybe not for everyone, but it's right up my alley, and here's my favorite scene. So, something you should know about me, I love bad movies. I love good movies too, obviously. But every now and then, to put on a movie, grab a few drinks, and just laugh at the utter failure you're watching, there's something special about that. So, although October is the perfect month to watch your favorite horror movies, it's also a month where you can watch a dog shit pile of trash movie and have fun with it. Yeah, our next movie on the list, a personal favorite of mine, it's Wish Upon. So, Wish Upon is a monkey's paw type of movie in which we follow Joey King of Ugly's fame, of course, who finds a magic box that grants wishes. But oh, every wish comes with horrific consequences. This movie's so f***ing stupid and it's amazing. It was directed by the guy who made Annabelle and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which explains a lot. And this is possibly the single best example of older adults trying to write dialogue for young teenagers and just failing.
Yeah, what's funny is that you're smegma. But like, ultimate smegma.
Oh, the dialogue is horrendous.
Your dad is like serious hot sauce. Like sriracha hot.
Just goddamn terrible.
You dig on multiverses?
Pair that with hilarious death scenes, terrible acting, and a plot that makes no sense whatsoever, and baby, we have a funny bad masterpiece. I never got bored once watching this. It's just so embarrassing. It was a blast, and here's my favorite scene. Day 16, we're going with another classic, a very influential film, not just for cinema, but for pop culture in general. It's George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. This one reminds me of The Mist a little bit. It's about this group of people trapped in a little farmhouse, surrounded by monsters, zombies in this case, and the tension keeps rising, people are getting angry and violent. It's just a great portrait of society collapsing when shit hits the fan. First thing I want to mention is how well this movie holds up. Humans being assholes is not anything new, and it is explored very well in this movie. It was especially interesting rewatching this back in 2020, in the heart of the pandemic. It just felt eerily really relevant. Sure, the zombies are cool. There's a reason why zombie movies became so popular. I mean, the concept is just amazing. Dead people coming back to life to eat your flesh. But the movie's really more about the humans. It's about paranoia and fear. I still think Night of the Living Dead is scary to this day. The scene where the little girl kills her mom in cold blood, that is one spine-chilling, genuinely terrifying scene. Night of the Living Dead is undoubtedly a masterpiece. And speaking of that creepy little girl, here's my favorite scene. Alright, day 17. Screw it, we're going with a documentary. Yay, we're gonna learn stuff. I don't think many people have heard of this. It's called The Nightmare, and it's about sleep paralysis. It dives deep into the strange things people see during an episode. There's a mix of interviews and reenactments. I found this movie to be really creepy. It's a fascinating subject matter, yes, but it also has very effective reenactments of things that really happened to those people. There's just something so scary about the idea of seeing a dark shadow standing at the end of your bed staring at you, and you can't move, you can't do anything. I don't like that. I wouldn't call this a masterpiece or anything. It gets a little goofy here and there. It's a bit over the top, but it's still a very effective documentary that stuck with me, creeped me out, and I think it's worth your time. Here's my favorite scene. Day 18, we're going back to my childhood. We're going back to the early 2000s once more with a movie that has traumatized many people my age. It's The Ring. Now, I'm sorry, I still haven't seen the original Japanese movie. I know, I suck! I've only ever seen the American remake, but I think a lot of people would agree that it's a pretty damn good film. You know the premise. Naomi Watts finds and watches a mysterious tape. She's then told she has 7 days to live. And she then slowly uncovers the dark secrets behind that tape. And also, a creepy-ass girl comes out of a television. Ah, get away from me! This movie is so iconic. The creepy tape, Samara coming out of the well, this horrifying fucking corpse, Jesus Christ. It's got an interesting enough story, decent characters, very effective scares, a great villain, just an overall very good horror movie. And I showed it already, but once again, here's my favorite scene. On October 19th, I don't know for you, but I'm in the mood for a classic, so I'll be watching William Friedkin's The Exorcist. Yet another very influential movie, still to this day considered one of the scariest horror movies ever made. You all know what it's about. It's about little Reagan getting possessed by a demon, and then things get scary and horrifying. But the thing that makes this movie work so well is that it's essentially a drama. It's shot like a documentary, like you're a fly on the wall. You just follow these people going through literal hell, getting desperate, just losing hope. The human conflict here is tragic and beautiful. Oh, and it just so happens that there's a little creepy girl throwing up green goo. I made a whole video about this movie and compared it to David Gordon Green's disastrous piece of shit Legacy sequel, so check that out if you want. But all in all, I mean, it's The Exorcist, one of the best horror movies ever made, and here's my favorite scene. Okay, on day 20, is it a funny bad movie? Is it a good movie? Is it a horror film? Is it a comedy? I don't know, and that's what makes it so great. It's James Wan's Malignant. I'm not gonna say anything about the plot in case you somehow don't know what it's about, but Malignant is one of the strangest experiences I've ever had watching a movie in a theater. I, along with probably everybody else in the theater, expected a typical haunted house James Wan movie, and then yeah, things get a little crazy, and I just could not believe what I was watching, and I say that kind of in the best possible way. It's ridiculous to the point of almost being funny. It sometimes almost gets embarrassingly silly, but it's somehow also executed incredibly well. Fantastic cinematography, some great kills and gore, some really interesting stuff with the camera. Malignant is everything I love about movies. It's a director just going for it, getting crazy and creative, and just having fun. This man just casually made these billion-dollar Hollywood hits, and then decided to make his own weird little horror film without caring much about what the audience would think. And you know what? I respect that. I had a blast watching this film, and I don't want to show too much, so here's one of my favorite scenes. Next up, day 21. It's got pumpkin in the title, so we gotta put it in the list. It's Pumpkinhead. Here's the thing with this movie, it's not great, but it is a lot of fun. It's your typical by-the-numbers monster flick, and it's about Lance Henriksen, who wants to get revenge on these teenagers that are responsible for the accidental death of his son. So he summons Pumpkinhead and sends him on a mission to kill them all. You know, nothing we haven't seen before. But you know what? This movie's very charming. You got a Sam Raimi witch in the woods. You got one of the coolest looking monsters in movie history. I mean, look at this thing. This monster design carries the whole movie. Otherwise, the atmosphere is on point. We got fun kills. Lance Henriksen is great as always. Yeah, Pumpkinhead is a simple and effective monster movie. Very enjoyable around Halloween. And here's my favorite scene.
I think it's here now.
On October 22nd, this is a fun one. It's Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy as much as everybody else, but I miss when Peter Jackson was making these cheesy horror B-movies, and I definitely think this is his best one. In Brain Dead, there's a lady who gets bitten by a rat monkey thing, which turns her into a zombie, and sure enough, the infection spreads, creating a giant horde of flesh-eating ghouls. Good old classic B-movie stuff. This one's for the Evil Dead fans, or the gory B-movie horror fans. It's a film that's light on plot, but heavy on the action. There's so much blood, so many limbs flying off everywhere, great practical effects, grotesque death scenes. It has a dark, absurd sense of humor. It's a cult classic that definitely deserves its place on this list. A blast from beginning to end, and here's my favorite scene. Okay, day 23, this is much more of a winter movie, but it's just so damn good I had to put it on the list. It's John Carpenter's The Thing, one of my favorite movies ever made. This is yet another film that explores paranoia and fear impeccably well. The premise alone is just amazing. An alien entity that can transform into anyone you know, so no one can be trusted. The tension keeps rising, it's claustrophobic, it's suspenseful, and it's also got some of the best practical effects ever made. The Thing was famously not well received when it came out, but I'm glad it's become as popular and beloved as it did. It's a damn near perfect movie, and here's my favorite scene.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
On October 24th, this one's a classic for people my age. If you're older or younger, you might not care about this, but it's an important film for me, and hey, it's my goddamn list, so I'm gonna be watching Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Yeah, I know, an animated kids film? What the unsubscribe! Listen, I can't even express how much nostalgia I have for this movie. It was a childhood favorite of mine, but not only that, it actually still holds up. In this one, the Scooby Gang wants to find a real supernatural threat for once. They're growing tired of the same old formula, so they end up in this creepy house surrounded with real actual zombies, and then there's these horrific cat monsters. Oh lord almighty. Watching this as a kid scared the living fucking shit out of me. They really went for it. It's a much darker and more mature Scooby-Doo adventure. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. It somehow looks a million times better than the shitty 2019 sequel. There are so many classic scenes, a great soundtrack, fun little twists and turns. I just love this film so much, and here's my favorite scene. Day 25, we have a lesser known movie, I think. It's Cobweb, a more recent film with an incredible Halloween vibe. Cobweb is about this little kid who starts talking to a mysterious voice coming from within the walls of his bedroom, and meanwhile his creepy ass overprotective parents start acting weird and they seem to be hiding something. I went into this movie not expecting much and I had such a great time. This film feels like an odd, twisted fairy tale. The atmosphere is great. There are many fun twists and turns. You never know who to trust and where this movie's going. And then at the end, it turns into a crazy Sam Raimi gore fest. What more could you possibly want? What a fun little Halloween treat. Here's my favorite scene. On October 26th, we got my favorite Friday the 13th movie. It's Part 6, Jason Lives. Now, this franchise is usually more of a summer-themed horror franchise. You know, you got the summer camp, you got Crystal Lake, but although I think the movie takes place in summer, it still has that wonderful autumn vibe. It's a very spooky movie. I mean, the opening looks like it's straight out of an EC comic, and hot take alert, this is the only Friday the 13th movie that I would consider to be a good movie. I love this franchise to death, I really do, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves, they are dumb, schlocky movies, but this one feels like some effort was put into it. Effort into the writing, into the characters. The acting is really good. The movie looks gorgeous. And yeah, I mean, it's surprisingly well made. It's creative. It turned Jason into a pop culture icon. The kills are pretty fun. There's plenty of great memorable scenes. And speaking of which, here's my favorite one.
Good night. See you in the morning.
Day 27, we have our first double feature of the night, The Evil Dead, and its 2013 remake/reboot. I know Evil Dead 2 is the fan favorite. I mean, they're all great movies, but usually around Halloween, I tend to watch these two specifically, and they both have the same basic premise. A group of teenagers are hanging out in a cabin in the woods, and then they accidentally summon this demon entity that turns people into deadites. The original Evil Dead is, of course, what put Sam Raimi on the map. He took a very basic, simple, cliche premise and turned it into a highly creative, highly entertaining film. There is so much energy behind the camera, so much talent, especially considering how young Sam Raimi was at the time. Yeah, it's low budget and some things haven't aged too well, but goddamn is it a fun ride. Here's my favorite scene. As for the 2013 reboot, from what I hear, I think it's somewhat of a polarizing film. Some people love it, some people hate it. So I don't know for you, but I thought it was a blast. They take the same concept, but up the budget and intensity. They play it 100% straight and just go all in with the crazy gore and blood and insane demon shit. As soon as the first Deadite shows up, it's a non-stop thrill ride. You cannot fall asleep watching this movie. It's just literally impossible because there's not a single dull moment. What a fun, crazy thrill ride. And here's my favorite scene.
Don't do it, you little bitch. Don't cut it off.
Okay, we're done with Evil Dead, except not really, because on October 28th, I'm gonna be watching the Evil Dead ripoff, Night of the Demons. You know what, fuck it, let's make it a double feature. Let's put the shitty remake in here too, why not? So, Night of the Demons is very similar to Evil Dead. This group of teenagers accidentally summons a demonic entity in an old creepy house, and everybody turns into, basically, into deadites. It's pretty much the same thing, except this one takes place on Halloween and has a hot goth chick as the antagonist. They even copy some of the classic shots from Evil Dead, but you know what? The movie has enough of its own style and charm to stand on its own. For one, I think Angela is a great antagonist. God, she's so hot. Look at her sweet dance move. Oh my god! Linnea Quigley also steals the show here, especially in this one scene. No specific reason. The demons look great, and I love the setting. It's a great Halloween flick, and although I'm gonna have to censor the hell out of it, here's my favorite scene. So I put the remake in here too as well. Yeah, it's an awful garbage movie, but I don't know, there's something about its very 2009 aesthetic that aged horribly that makes it somewhat of an entertaining watch. I guess you could call it a guilty pleasure. It's a dumb, stupid film that you can watch with your friends at a Halloween party and just laugh at it, just make fun of it because it's so stupid. And here's a scene that I still cannot believe is in a real movie and possibly my favorite scene as well.
Baby? Baby, oh, if you're gonna put it in there, you're gonna need to use a little.
We're getting close to the end, and on October 29th, you knew this was coming. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, George Romero's Creepshow. This film is like a warm blanket on a rainy night. It always puts me in that special little happy place. It really is the most fun you'll have being scared.
The most fun you'll ever have being scared.
This is, in my opinion, the best anthology movie and simply a dream come true for EC Comics fans. In this one, we have a sassy zombie, a green moss man, Leslie Nielsen playing this deranged psychopath, there's a monster in a crate, and bugs. Lots and lots of disgusting bugs. There really is no weaker segment here, at least for me. I think they're all very enjoyable. And yes, this is a horror comedy, but the comedy comes from these wacky, eccentric characters who all have such unique character traits. Ed Harris has the most awkward dancing. It's so funny. Zombie Nate just wants to eat his goddamn cake. Leslie Nielsen is effortlessly charismatic. Adrienne Barbeau steals the show as this drunken bitch wife. You can tell everyone involved in making this movie had a ton of fun. Tom Savini's creature effects are nothing short of amazing. The soundtrack is wonderfully spooky. Yeah, this is probably a top 3 favorite movie for me, and I have so many, but here's one of my favorite scenes.
I took care of it. That's why God made fathers, babe. That's why God made fathers.
Ooh, it's October 30th, Halloween Eve. It's almost time to go trick-or-treating, but in the meantime, we're gonna be watching Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat. I mean, this whole movie is a celebration of Halloween. Even has the literal living embodiment of the holiday. Obviously, it had to be on the list. This is yet another anthology film, except this time each segment is interconnected in one way or another. We have werewolves, a psycho school principal, little zombie kids, and Brian Cox fighting a pumpkin monster. If that doesn't sound like fun, I don't know what does. This is the most Halloween movie on the list. Obviously, I mean, just look at it. There's jack-o'-lanterns and decorations and costumes in almost every shot. It's a very fun, very entertaining film. It's surely gonna put you in that Halloween mood in no time. Sam is an icon. I love this little fella, and I can relate to him. Just follow the Samhain traditions and you'll be fine. But take off the Halloween decorations too early? Yeah, that bitch got what she deserved. Unfortunately, we're probably never getting a sequel. I mean, I'm trying to stay optimistic. I still have a small glimmer of hope that we might see a Trick or Treat 2 one day, but that glimmer is very slim. I'll keep waiting, and in the meantime, here's my favorite scene.
Trick or...
Happy Halloween! It's October 31st, and on this very special day, we're gonna have our last double feature of the month, John Carpenter's Halloween and Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I don't want to hear it. I love this movie, okay? Let's start with Carpenter's Halloween, one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, this might be an odd comparison, but I always describe Halloween as being like Dazed and Confused, but as a slasher film, because the movie almost entirely takes place in a single day, where we simply follow different people in Haddonfield as they go about their day, except there's a serial killer stalking them, and you never know when he's gonna get you. I've said this a lot about many films on this list already, but yes, it's all about the atmosphere and the tension. On paper, not much happens in Halloween. It's a basic ass slasher flick where people walk around doing nothing. But oh lord, Dean Cundey's beautiful cinematography, John Carpenter's incredible soundtrack, the shapes staring at people in the background, everything is executed so incredibly well that what could have been a cheap B movie ended up being one of the most successful horror films of all time. a beloved classic that unfortunately spawned far too many shitty sequels. Like many horror fans, I watch it every year, and oddly enough, my favorite scene is when Laurie's just walking in the neighborhood. I just think it perfectly sets the mood for what's coming. A safe, quiet little neighborhood with something sinister lurking in the shadows. What a great movie. And the last horror film we're watching this month. Yes, I'm not kidding. It's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The one Halloween movie without Michael Myers. I know people were pissed about that. I know it's the black sheep of this franchise. But once you accept that Michael is not in the movie and that it's a completely different universe, this film is insane and I love everything about it. It's just crazy to me that they wanted to turn Halloween into an annual anthology series, and their idea for this movie, first thing they thought of was to, I don't know, make a film with Halloween masks that open portals to another dimension, unleashing insects and creatures into little children's brains as they watch TV with this annoying yet catchy little jingle, and there's an Irish male witch controlling a magic Stonehenge that at one point shoots a laser that turns him into I don't know what the fuck it is. What is that? I have no idea. But we're not done, because meanwhile, there's also these sci-fi robots, android things that vomit baby juice when they die, and Tom Atkins is investigating this whole thing with a lady he just met, and although she could very well be his daughter, or maybe even granddaughter at that point, doesn't matter, you bet your ass they're still gonna in this shady motel, but oh shit, she's one of the robots! Do I need to say more? Well, I'm going to, because you also get Dean Cundey's gorgeous cinematography and John Carpenter's super catchy soundtrack. Yeah, Halloween 3 is ridiculous in all the right ways. Such a strange little movie that is endlessly rewatchable. It's just so much fun. Part horror, part sci-fi, part romance, part James Bond at one point. It's wild, and I just fell in love with it ever since I first watched it. Here's my favorite scene. Well, there you have it, the list of horror movies I'm going to be watching this October. A list that I'm sure everybody will love and agree with 100%, because that's how the internet works. I'm pretty sure. I just wanted to talk about a couple movies I like, but in the end, no matter what you end up watching this month, just enjoy it. It's the best time of the year. Drop me your own list if you want, I'd be curious to read that. And until next time, keep watching horror movies. It's good for your health. Bye bye.